Happy Friday! It is officially Ask Rachel Anything time. And this week we are answering the question, what do I do if my manager doesn't want to let me cut or mark on my garment during a fitting? And I've seen this a lot throughout my career where if you're in certain meetings and fittings and the leadership team doesn't want you to mark or cut up the garment, sometimes that can be a real hindrance and you're not able to really proceed to make markings on the garment, which I think is just super crucial. If you guys have been keeping up with our new YouTube channel, The Cutting Edge, I'm talking all about marking on garments with Sharpie markers or chalk this week. And so I just really think that it's super important to make all of those adjustments when you're in the fitting so that you have a visual representation of what you want on the garment when you're done fitting. And then that way you can also take something back to your desk that is like physical. It is, you made this marking exactly on the garment where it needed to be during the fitting when it was on an ideal fit model body. And so when you go back to your desk, like taking measurements of, how far was this mark away from this seam so that I can make that comment then for my factory and it's super easy for them to understand. Or maybe I want to take close-up photos or something like that. Like if I don't remember to do all of those details during the fitting, if I marked on it or if I cut it or if I pinned it properly, I have the opportunity to kind of follow up on all of those types of things afterwards and not lose the work that I did in the fitting. However, I will say that there are some people out there who don't want you to damage the garments in any way. A lot of times this happens when someone wants to really push forward like a wear testing program. And so instead of like truly fitting your garments to the point where you can cut them and manipulate them as you need, they want to be able to then also use them as a duplicate for wear testing. So they don't want any cuts in it and they don't want Sharpie marker all over it because they want to be able to hand it off to a wear tester and have the wear tester feel like they can go out in the wild and run in it, ride in it, do some yoga in it, and actually feel like they're not going to look silly with a bunch of like cuts and slashes and pins in their garment. And what I really recommend for that situation, if you have a manager, you have a leader who wants to run a wear testing program, doesn't believe that garments should be marked up during the fitting, is see if you can kind of figure out how to ask them if we can find new budget to get multiple samples. Because at the end of the day, if you aren't fitting your garment properly and you're not actually putting pins in, you're not making cuts where you need to have cuts, and you're not marking where new seam placements need to go, you're really missing out on the opportunity to make your next prototype that much better. And so doing all of these processes during your fitting is really important. It's good for your experience so that you can understand how all of this work inside the fitting then actually translates to your comments, which then translate to your next proto. And if you're not learning all of these things and gaining this experience, you're missing out on a huge part of the learning in your career. So pushing for the opportunity to be able to truly manipulate the garments, like in my opinion, that's 100% what they are there for. A factory is sending you a fitting garment, a fit prototype, so that you can manipulate it and make sure that the next round is going to fit better. And so if you're not able to actually do the things that you need to do because you're getting pushback from a leader or a manager or someone else on your team, just being able to explain to them the importance of the visual and being able to explain to them that without cutting or without marking, we might not know exactly how much we need to add or take out or move a seam or move some sort of detail. Because once we take it off the body, if we've forgotten to take every single little measurement while we're in the fit room, we lose out on the opportunity to know exactly what it needs to be. So kind of going through that conversation with them, helping them understand how important it can be to manipulate your garment during an apparel fitting is something that can maybe help change their minds a little bit. But again, if you have someone who is just really stubborn, they don't love scissors to fabric, and they really don't want you to put any markings on the garment, even if it's chalk, I've seen that sometimes too, even though you can wash chalk out afterwards, sometimes they just don't want anything on the garment at all. And so that's a really good instance where you can ask for them to consider buying additional garments. If we really want to run a wear test program and we want it to be robust and we want our wear testers to be really happy with the garments that they're getting, maybe we need to order separate samples. And this could be a great way too to convince them to let you do double work, because sometimes it comes down to budget not being big enough to be able to do both sets. So there are definitely some tricky politics in this, and kind of working through it with your team, working through it with your leadership, making sure that your manager knows how important it is to you. But I believe that standing your ground and knowing how important it is for your role, for your career, for your growth, and for the good of your garments. Like if you really want to be making better fitting garments for your customers and getting that out into the world, running a really efficient and great fitting is key. So I think just explaining that to them and letting them know how important it is will sometimes change their minds. So if you need any help with this, please feel free to reach out. I would love to chat with you about it. You can DM me anytime. You can put comments below this reel that we'll put back out after the live is over. Today has been a really nice Friday. It's been raining a lot here in Santa Cruz. I saw someone post just the other day. It said, I guess it had to be yesterday or today. It said, January was a really long year, but we made it through. I'm kind of feeling that way about January myself, but February is going to be a great month. We are launching the new workshop here in less than a week. I am so excited. If you are on our newsletter, we were able to get that out just a little bit ago, so you probably received it in your inbox, just talking about all the final details that are going on there. We are onboarding some new team members. I am updating the website. There's just a lot that is really happening. And so January was a big month for Unmarked Street and the business of apparel. We are worlds away from where we were at this time last year. Like when I think about what I was doing in January of 2023 versus what kind of work we're doing right now, it is just, it's kind of remarkable, and it makes me really excited for what 2024 could potentially bring for us. But yeah, it's all hard work. And so I am looking forward to the weekend ahead, hoping that the sun decides to come out for a little while so I can get myself outside. I am going to spend the rest of the afternoon either with a book or doing a workout. And so I really need some motivation. So cheer me on. I think I'm going to go try to get a workout in. I might even get in a little bit of a walk while the rain is dissipated for a little bit, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, we've got some video shooting going on this week. We're setting up some new stuff. We are trying to get some more content onto the website, and we're figuring out how to get you more free stuff as fast as we possibly can. So that is constantly in work. The team is working hard on it. So if there's anything else that we can help you with, any new information that we can get out to you guys, please reach out. We would love to hear what you would like to learn from us. In the meantime, we're just going to keep teaching what we know. So make sure that you go over to thebusinessofapparel.com, sign up for our newsletter over there. We are going to be starting to send out a brand new weekly newsletter called The Cutting Edge Leadership in Apparel Development. So that's going to be starting in March. So we have just a month left while we're kind of getting all of the team members in place and getting all of the logistics set up there. But that is coming really soon. So if you get on the list now, you will definitely be one of the first to be on that new newsletter. So any questions, again, let me know. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend ahead, and hopefully it's sunny where you are, or if it's rainy or cold, that you'll get a little bit of a break from it soon. Okay, talk soon. See you guys next week.